We're going where you want to go so you can be where you need to be. It's Road Gang Radio with Lindsay, Lawler, and Jimmy Mack on RadioNemo.com.
Wrapping up today as a guest, she might give you goosebumps. Her name is Michelle Rozell. Fun to say. She's the director of heritage tourism for the City of Cripple Creek up on Cripple Creek in Colorado. She oversees the Cripple Creek Heritage Center, Fire Station number 3, and most importantly to our conversation today, the Outlaws and Lawmen Jail Museum. Now, this is a woman who knows her history, also happens to have 15 years of experience in paranormal investigation. Let's go. So you know where I'm headed with this. We're talking Wild West history, haunted jails, ghosts of outlaws, maybe a little paranormal tourism. You can check it out for yourself at visitcripplecreek.com. Let's dive in with Michelle. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Let's just kind of set this up as well. We do this anytime we have a museum, anytime we have any sort of place where our listeners can visit. Set the scene for us, Michelle. Set the scene, kind of take us in there. What a person, they find a place to park, they make their way over. What do they see on the outside, and what do they walk into? And then we'll get to the spirits that you're communing with. But let's just start with the museum itself.
So the Outlaws and Lawmen Jail Museum is actually housed in our original Teller County Jail. So
that's not spooky at all. Good Lord.
So there's bars on the windows. It's a brick building. It looks like a jail. And so that's your first experience when you drive up to it. It was actually a jail for 91 years.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Well, do you feel that then when you walk in, knowing what you do, not diving into the spirits yet, but when you walk in, I'm going to guess, even somebody who is a naysayer when it comes to spirits, I'm going to guess you can't discount the energy in that jail/museum.
Oh, for sure. For sure. No, as soon as you walk in, number one, the door squeaks just perfectly. It stopped squeaking for a minute, and I was like, wait, where'd it go? But no, you walk in, and yeah, there's a big barred door right next to you, and you can see right into the main cell block. So, yeah, it hits you in the face right when you walk in, for sure.
And you're in the room, okay? So there you are. You walk into the room, and you can, like I said, the past comes alive there. I've always asked this when it comes to any sort of museum. The title is self-explanatory, but what is the ultimate point of the preservation? What is the story that you guys want to tell when people walk in there? I mean, what part of the past is coming to life in regards to both the region and the building itself?
So if you have any familiarity with the history of Cripple Creek, we are a gold mining country or town. We actually outproduced California and Alaska combined in our gold production. So back in the day, at our peak population in 1904, we had 35,000 people living in Cripple Creek alone. So you can only imagine this was your typical Wild West town. And we need to share with people, when you come to it today, it's kind of like a sleepy town. You get here and you're like, oh, it's kind of cute and quaint. But back in the day, it was like 24/7, going on everything. And so we want people to understand why we're here, why we're still here. We're actually still producing gold today. And the history of our outlaws and lawmen is so important, part of our history of what happened back in those gold mining days.
Well, the history piece. So let's dive in there, because Cripple Creek, as you said, you've seen outlaws, lawmen, miners, now tourists, and it's stayed all this time. And so I'm curious, actually, to dive into the paranormal piece a little bit. You've got this perfect mix yourself of historian and ghost hunter a little bit. Do you find that the paranormal side, even for the naysayers, that the paranormal side actually helps people sort of connect to the history piece in a different way?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The jail museum is pretty much known for its paranormal activity. So we have groups I've had groups from all over the world come in just to investigate this building. And it's, for me, each of my staff members has had their own experience there, and they love sharing it with anybody and
everybody has? All your staff has?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
And then, with me being a paranormal investigator, I've investigated the jail. I couldn't tell you how many times in the past 15 years. And just some days I don't have anything going on, but other days it's a busy day. And they want to literally reach out and, make it known that, hey, we're still here. And, we're glad you're here with us.
You know what? Jim, of course I want stories.
Well, yeah. And by the way, Lindsay, just to let our friends know, you can actually find the museum on Facebook. And one of the things they have is they regularly post the events they have. They have a paranormal investigation taking place October the 18th at 8 p.m. So just to kind of give you guys a sense of that, they do have it. So I would recommend you guys, if you're interested in such things, heading on over there. Let me ask you that, too, from just a fun standpoint. If somebody actually wanted to be a part of one of those paranormal investigations, what does it entail?
So on those events, when it's open to the public, there are certain paranormal groups that host it. They rent the jail for me, and then they sell tickets to the public to come and investigate. So they would have to reach out to the group that is hosting the event. If you're a paranormal group, or even if you're not a paranormal group and you want to rent out the jail, I do that too.
Really quickly, and then Lindsay's got a question for you. So I don't know if you know much about this show. We actually do a segment called Western of the Month, and we do another segment called Beyond the Bushwhackers, where we talk about...
I was going to say, Meg and Kate should be here today.
Meg, Kate, and Matthew Holbert should both be here today. Matthew, by the way, does his histories, little mini histories on this show of the famous gunslingers and gunfighters. Who is the most famous person who was actually in those cells? Who among both the lawmen and the outlaws who have been through those cells? And that's a big deal. 35,000 people in a gold mining town. That is the gold standard for what a gold town is, unless it becomes San Francisco. So who are we talking about here? What is the history connection?
So oddly enough, our most famous inmate was not a gunslinger at all. It was Jack Dempsey, the world heavyweight boxing champion. He was here in Cripple Creek, mucking in the mines. He committed a petty larceny by stealing a gentleman's coat, and he spent, I believe it was 60 days in our jail.
You know what just came to mind, Jim, that's interesting to me? Back then, it feels like it wasn't as big a deal to be in jail as it is now. Like, everybody was in jail at some point because everything, right? I mean, there was also, it was harder. You had to steal, you had to kill, or thought you did rather, to stay alive. So it's not as easy as driving over to Kroger and buying my potatoes today, of course. But it's fascinating to me, Jim. It just kind of hit me that, today, if you went to jail, it's like, oh my gosh, you wouldn't talk about her. So such a hidden thing. Back then, it's like, you haven't been to jail? Who are you? Are you even cool? It's a little bit of that, right?
Sometimes, yes. We actually have some families that come in and they're doing their family history, and they're still a little bit kind of like, well, hey, I think my uncle was in here,
There's Grandpa's cell.
Kind of fun for us, right? But like I said, this was a county jail, so we housed everything from drunk and disorderly all the way to murderers. And then once you were convicted of a higher crime, we sent you down to Canyon City, and that's where the state penitentiary is. So we had the worst of the worst, for sure. And we also housed women and children criminals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, basically, and those were back. And I think Lindsay's onto something, by the way. Since since we don't expunge people's records anymore, I guess they made it much less of an offense. There was also a lot of leeway back then too. It's like, you know what? Rather than have you sleep that off in the street, you're going in the drunk tank, and just like Otis does in the Andy Griffith Show, you find your keys and you find your way out. I just want to tell you guys really quickly that means that there is a wonderful connection between the city of New Orleans and Outlaws and Lawmen Jail Museum. I'm down here in New Orleans, by the way, Michelle. And what's really cool is that Jack Dempsey has a restaurant that is named after him at the end of Poland Avenue, right where he fought the famous heavyweight fight as well. So, this is really kind of cool stuff. Okay, so along with that, you're not just doing Outlaws and the Lawmen Jail Museum. You, in many ways, kind of really look over a lot of tourism that happens over there. So where would be the best place to eat if I was going to spend a day at the Outlaws and Lawmen Jail Museum? Where would you tell me to go grab a bite to eat while I was in Cripple Creek nearby?
Well, ironically, since I am a city staff member, I cannot recommend anybody over the other. But if you show up here.
Where would you and your family go tonight? Not a recommendation, but where are you having dinner tonight?
Where's the last place you ate out at?
That way.
Oh.
No, but here at the Heritage Center, what our goal is here is if you walk in here, we'll get you a map, and we've got little booklets, and it shows you exactly every restaurant, either in casinos, because we are a casino town. So it shows you every restaurant that's available in casinos, every restaurant that's freestanding, both here in Cripple Creek and Victor. And so that's our goal here, is to make sure you know exactly everything that's available for you to go see and do and eat and while you're here.
And so I guess, again, knowing that you can't recommend, but you're about, like 2 hours south of Denver-ish. Is that fair? Is that right?
Yeah, that makes, yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like between the history, the tourism, the museum, the casinos, like this is a full, Cripple Creek can be a full experience. Is there I'm a musician in Nashville, so what's the music scene around there? Are there some local places to take in music and some kind of known musicians around there as well?
The casinos do bring in some live acts, which is really cool. One of our newest casinos really got a good lineup this year. And then, of course, Cripple, we have all sorts of different events. I don't know if you're aware that we have a herd of wild donkeys that wander.
Well,
and
sure.
So,
why wouldn't you?
So, right. Well, the donkeys are, they worked in the mines, so there's your history connection there. But we have a group of people that take care of our donkeys, and so we have festivals for them to raise money to take care of our donkeys. And so that's when we bring in all our, our live music for those events and things like that. And yet, I mean, you can spend so much time between here and Victor, and Victor's another mining town just right across the way. We can keep you busy for a weekend at least. There's so many. We've got a train. We've got all sorts of different museums, and yeah, it's awesome to be up here.
Well, I guess it's really fun around Christmas. I'm looking at pictures, by the way, like the Century Casino and Hotel at Cripple Creek and some other places sort of around the area. And it just, it looks like, it looks like a set of a movie, and in the best kind of way, especially this kind of corner casino that's also hotel, and the store and the restaurant. Do you get that feel? Is there, when you come to Cripple Creek, is there a throwback nostalgia, or how have you guys been able to sort of balance the evolution of the town while keeping it in its roots? Because there's such obviously history and legend, myth making, if you will, here. How do y'all balance the evolution of that from tourism while keeping it steeped in the history?
That's a great question. Great question. So when you're looking at those pictures downtown, those are original buildings from 1896.
Very cool.
We have one new casino that built onto an old building, but other than that, we have a heritage preservation board, and they are very strict on making sure it keeps that Western theme and that, old mining theme. So we're very fortunate that we have that capability. And so that's how we keep our town looking like a Western town.
Very cool.
To go to the cityofcripplecreek.com /visit-cripple-creek. Cityofcripplecreek.com visit-cripple-creek. There's a lot of great stuff about not just the stuff over at the casinos, but the dining, the events, the attractions. And of course, for the purposes of this particular conversation, we are absolutely thrilled to send you guys to the Outlaws and Lawmen Jail Museum over there. Really exciting stuff. Don't be surprised if you see us sooner rather than later. I promise you. We really enjoyed having you on the show. Thank you so much.
We would love to have you up here. Absolutely. Everybody up here is just so passionate about our history, and you'll be shocked to learn some of the things that we've gone through in this area.
Fantastic.
Visit cripplecreek.com. I'm both telling you to visit Cripple Creek and telling you to go to the website, which is visitcripplecreek.com. Maybe we can have you back sometime, Michelle. I want more ghost stories. So maybe in October you can tell us some out. Maybe, Jim, it'd be fun for October Western in the Month to have Michelle pop in and serve up a little ghost stories from the Wild Wild West with Megan Kate Nelson.
Promise us you'll do that, Michelle.
I promise. I love great ghost stories. We have some amazing stuff.
Yay, let's do it. Visit cripplecreek.com. Michelle Rozell, is that how I say it?
You got it.
How fun that you're Michelle Rozell. Michelle Rozell. That's very cool. Okay, visit cripplecreek.com. We will talk to you soon. Thanks for making time.
Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day and come see us.